We have a number of considerations and options when it comes to orchard management practices in the wake of climate changes. Site selection becomes even more critical. For instance, we'll need to eliminate marginal sites that bloom too early. Cultivars will change, adding early and potentially later maturing cultivars. We may also wish to select cultivars that bloom later to avoid frosts. Rome Beauty, for example. A focus on good site preparation is also critical, as we need to get the trees off to a good start. Things to be especially vigilant about when preparing for new planting will be perennial weed control, good soil amendments, increasing organic matter with cover crops, and establishing good sod for the fall prior to planting. When replanting an orchard, the site should undergo a thorough rotational preparation over at least a 2-year period. Prevention will be very important. Painting trunks with white latex paint to prevent winter bark splitting injury to the tree trunks, which is commonly called southwest injury. If the splitting is caught early enough, the bark can be tacked back to cover the split with roofing nails if it is not dried out. Alternatively, if the bark is not pliable, early spring canker surgery can be performed by cutting off the split bark evenly back to the green cambium layer. To help prevent winter bark splitting, paint the tree trunks in the fall with interior white latex paint on the trees that are at least 2 years old. The application of paint should be done in the fall on a warm sunny day where temperatures are above 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Paint the trunk to at least 18 inches above the ground and 10 to 12 inches of basal portion of the lowest limbs. Irrigation will be necessary, especially early on in the fruit growth period. You can begin pruning earlier, but you'll need to monitor temperatures closely. Perhaps you'll have to do less heavy dormant pruning, since the longer season will result in greater growth. You will likely need to do more summer pruning to contain that excess growth and to improve light relations within the tree. Pruning affects winter hardiness. The hardiest species are pears, followed by apples, cherries, other stone fruit, and finally, peaches. Beginning with the most cold-hardy species, prune older trees first. Follow the weather and stop pruning if cold weather is predicted. If you see winter injury, adjust crop load and follow with a spring tonic and irrigation. The tonic is a series of foliar applications suggested for apple and pear trees. The first is an application of a Bordeaux spray at green tip. This is followed by an application of urea at tight cluster to pink flowering stage. A third spray is an application of Solubor at tight cluster stage, and a final application of zinc also at tight cluster. On the plus side, early warm weather may make your bloom and post-bloom chemical thinner applications more consistent. However, the erratic weather may necessitate the use of windbreaks, hail nets, frost protection mechanisms, and overhead irrigation. Some newer technology tools will need to be incorporated into orchard designs. Potentially high tunnels, shade cloths, weather monitoring and prediction systems will take on greater importance. Automation of irrigation and fertigation systems may be needed. That concludes our discussion of managing orchards in a changing climate.